Hello and Baha'i greeting to all the people of the world, wherever you are, whoever you are. My sincere Baha'i greeting of Allah Akbar to all of you. Well, we kind of covered up some of the topics, very little bit of it. Personally not satisfied myself so far, but this is how much I could do for one single man who is actually a contractor and has this little time in the night. So today again is 19th of November, time is about 10:30 in the night, and I have this little time to speak to you. We covered up so far some of the philosophical issues to the matter of pertaining to God. I'm going now to speak about the prophethood. What is this prophethood? So, essentially, prophethood is a process that how God, the unknowable essence, contacts humanity, contacts mankind in this planet and everywhere else in the universe. So, strictly speaking, today I tell you, when we talk about prophets of God such as Moses and Jesus and Muhammad and Buddha and Krishna and Baha'u'llah, we really talk about God Himself. I remember I was reading one of the saying in the religion of Islam, in the Shiite sects of Islam, that one of the imams was saying that there's God and creation and there's nothing in between. And this is really a reference that it is God and creation. As people, they think there is God, there is prophet, and then there's people. In reality, the prophets are nothing but manifestation of God, as Baha'u'llah explains. To put it in the today language, God is like the king or prime minister in Canada, we call prime minister, king, queen, anybody, right on TV. So if you look at the TV, you can see the Prime Minister of Canada speaking. Today the Prime Minister is Stephen Harper, or the Queen of England. So when you look at the TV, it is her. The Queen is speaking. Totally, completely, it is her. Is it? If you go touch the TV, you see it's just a glass. Behind it is all wires. So you could say the TV is Queen at that time, but is it? Not really. So it is how you like, to see it. When Jesus says, I am God, I am Son of God, both of them are correct. Because as Abdul Baha explains, it's like a mirror, sun in the mirror. So the mirror could be called sun, or you could call it mirror. You can say Son of God, or you can say Son of Man. If you refer to the body of Christ, Son of Man. If you refer to who he is inside, his reality, he's called himself Son of God, meaning a manifestation of God, resemblance to God. Our picture resembles to us. You can call my picture me, but it is not me. My picture is just a piece of paper. My reality is different. But the truth is this. Somebody was telling me that you really believe Baha'u'llah is God? I told him it is him. There is nobody else. But you see its manifestation of the power. When you die in the next life, if you had the opportunity, the Baha'u'llah that you see there is way different from what you see here. Even you can't see, even then you can't see. What you see is different, manifesting itself differently on the other life. I always give the example that the difference between Albert Einstein, one of my favorite, when he proposed, the theory of relativity, and when he was conceived in the womb of his mother. Both that zygote is Einstein, so was 50 years after when this theory was proposed. If you look at both of them are Einstein, but look at the difference of a zygote of Einstein and actual him to talk to us. The difference is infinite. So the Baha'u'llah and the Prophet and the Jesus that we see here is like within the womb. When we die, we see the reality is way bigger than you can imagine. If actually you could imagine, if you have the means to understand it. So this prophethood is basically kicks in as the need of mankind comes about. Bob says in his writing, God has given you everything, don't ask for anything, everything there's a means to get it, obtain it, except his own appearance, except the manifestation of God. That God will give it to you, because he knows that we are not able to see the other side of the life, therefore he has to come and speak about it. So it is just like the rivers from the mountain, they're trickling together slowly, and then it becomes bigger, 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 and the bottom of the river all of a sudden becomes a big, huge delta and goes to the ocean. The appearance of Baha'u'llah is like that. Thousands and thousands and millions of marriages happens in the past. Finally a body that is the body of Baha'u'llah comes that's capable of such manifestation of God in it. So yes, it is like the sugar cane. They say every 20 years, I haven't seen, but they say every 20 years sugar cane gives a flower. Prophets or appearance of God in the planet, which we call it prophethood, this appearance and manifestation of God among people or prophethood is like that sugar cane. Every 1,000 years he comes to tell us something new, something we need to grow, something which we cannot do. I will explain about the religion, that the religion is not comparable to anything that mankind produces. So it could be a matter of evolution of the need and the necessity of mankind, therefore that need kicks in and a solution comes, which is the prophethood. You could say it as an accidental matter. But as I explained before, what could be an accident? For us, something random, the person in a different dimension up above in the sky, he could see that the event is happening. In the road that we do not know what it is and what's going to happen, he can see our future. And he can come down and say, hey mister, in 2 hours you're going to see this in the road. And we say, how do you know that? He says, I was up there. And if we don't know anything about airplane, we would be totally flabbergasted by him saying these things. And when it happens, then we say, oh, you are a prophet of God. He says, you could call me a prophet of God, or you could call me a man from a different dimension. Scientifically explainable. So it is written in the Bible, in the Middle East religion, that there has been 6,000 years, which I explained to you. This is according to the reckoning of the Bible, criteria of the Bible and Quran. It is 1 year is equal to 1,000 years. So 6 days is really 6,000 years. Every year is equal to 1,000 years in the holy books of Quran. So and 6,000 is the Adam and Noah and Abraham and Moses and Jesus and Muhammad, and the end of the Muhammad, 6,000 years is finished, appearance of the Baha'i faith and Baha'u'llah. But Bob in his book, he refers to 12,000 years. That's new. Which is very much coincide with what Abdul-Baha says, because Abdul-Baha says humanity began in India, in the river of Ganges. he says. And then he says they basically traveled around the whole world and the globe. This is a Baha'i belief. For now, there are not a lot of evidence to prove it. But since we know he's infallible, and we already, we're going to see more about the Baha'i faith, that he is capable of saying that on a different dimensions, we as a Baha'i believe that. We know that this is the truth. He says so. And this is why Bob says 12,000 years. So it takes us, what, some 6,000 years even before Adam. And it is not also too irrelevant to the other religions of the past. In Islam and the Shiites' doctrine, the word al-Adem, which means the plural for Adam, which means Adam in English, is referred to Adams in the past. So that means even the Muslim Shiites, they believe there's more than one Adam. So, and there are books in Hinduism. One of them, I think, is the Book of Manu, that we know it in the English, the Laws of Manu. Manu seems to be the word man, which is equal to the word Adam. Adam means man in Persian and in Arabic. So is man. It seems man and Adam is the same thing, but amazingly, the word Sanskrit Manu, which is man, has come to the English language. So, just remember talking to Dr. Monji, around 1982, one night I had a time we were discussing. He said to me, actually, there has been 5 cycles. In the Baha'i faith, we use the word cycle and dispensation. Dispensation is the distance between the 2 prophets of the major prophets, such as Jesus and Moses. That would be the dispensation. And the cycle is a combination of a few prophets. In Islam, in the cycle of Adam, which we call it cycle of Adam, is Adam, and the last one is Prophet Muhammad. He said there has been such cycle in the ancient Iranian, which they would be real Aryan people, and that would start from Q Mars acting as Adam and ends to Zoroaster. That would be the last prophet of that cycle. And he mentioned definitely in the Hinduism we have the first one called Manu, although the book is written later. But he said there is Manu, which is man, equal to the word man, you know, in the Semitic religions in the Middle East. And that the last one of them is Buddha. The Buddha would be the last. So the Buddha, Zoroaster, and Buddha, Zoroaster, and Muhammad would be the last prophets of their cycles. And at the end of these cycles, according to last books, it says the appearance of God will happen. Not the prophet, but the God himself, they say, will appear. So you could say in the process, for example, Adam could be visualized as the message of God to humanity, that he told us about bad and good, and the Noah essentially told us there are metaphysics, and Abraham said there's one full power metaphysical God, and there are not these evils and whatnot, the idols. And Moses, they brought the laws from God, and Jesus, compassion and love and from God, and Muhammad brought the knowledge of God. Muslims produce more books than any other religion so far. And at the end again they say Baha'u'llah, which is God, glory of God, will come for unity, to unite everyone. So the religion has passed more of like continentals. The laws of Muhammad cannot be practiced in the North and South Pole, because, you know, from the dawn to dusk you have to